for every principle, there are exceptions. So one of the most arrogant things you can ever do in your life is to go about with the impression that the girl is into you, and and she's not. Please, I want to beg you. I can kneel for you. Don't do that. The ultimate way to know for sure is that you ask. I'm begging you. When in doubt, ask. And even when you're not in doubt, please just ask. It's going to save you and save us a lot of embarrassment. Okay? So, the way to know for sure without a shadow of doubt is that you're interested, you ask her out, and then she says yes. So please bear this in mind. Otherwise, you will enter into a very deep well of friend zone. And 7 years after, you'll be like, how did I get here? Well, you didn't hear what. That's why. So please pay attention to this. So, but at the same time, you have to understand that physical cues are very powerful. At the end of the day, humans, we're higher animals. You see, we have the Holy Spirit, the breath of God is in us, and that puts us in a different class. But at the end of the day, they're just cues that are very dependable, okay, and can go a long way to guiding you, helping you understand how people behave. Listen, when you're trying to catch a thief, there are some physical cues to look out for. So now, when you say, who stole the meat? And then the person says, I didn't steal it, and goes on to give like 20 sentences explaining, and there is no hand movements. Subconsciously, you see, we tend to have minimal hand movements when we're lying. Okay, so those are some of the cues. All right, so there really are cues subconsciously. So the same way there are cues to know if someone is attracted in you, there are cues to know if the person is not attracted in you at all. If our hands are folded, I mean, you're talking the whole time, and she's just like, okay, run. Oh. Let me help her tell you what she does not want to tell you. She don't like you, bro. Or you talk 10 seconds and she does this, looking at the time, or just checking her phone, and you're talking, especially when she laughs, and then at the end of the laugh there's a sigh. Ha ha ha. That is a totally different meaning. If there's a sigh at the end of the laugh, the laughter has a totally different meaning. It means, oh, I'm encouraging you, pitiful young man. All right. So I mean, physical cues go a long way to help, even though they're not perfect, but at least they can guide you. So what are the signs? And also, some of these signs are more dependable than others. Some of them overlap with the signs of just mere friendship. So you need to be careful. But if you see many of this, coming into play in your situation, I congratulate you. Now, man, you be okay. Anyway, well, especially if she's the one you want, then you just might have something good on your hands. All right. So number one, she acts different around you. She acts different around you. All right. So this is very important. She acts different around you. And the reason why this is important is because many of the other signs that someone may be attracted to you also apply in a mere situation of friendship. So if she's checking on you, regularly, hey, how are you doing today, and all of that, or she's commenting on your photos and all of that, it might just be strictly platonic. It's very important to bear that in mind, okay? But if she acts different around you, so this is what I'm saying. If she's chatty towards you and she's chatty towards everyone else, you don't have a sign on your hands. And this is so important, because just because she wants to spend time with you, what are you doing today and all of that, but if she's different towards you, now that's a huge sign. Because at the end of the day, more often than not, if she's attracted to you, she's going to subconsciously try not to mess things up. She wants to make sure that she's saying the right things, acting the right way, acting in a way that won't jeopardize her chances. All right. And that's why she's just going to be very conscious, and maybe even subconsciously you find out she's fidgeting in your presence. She's just and all of that, or many of these things are subconscious, but that's something to look out for. And I think it's generally a good sign that someone cares what you think. All right. 2, frequent communication. You see, sign number 1 is more important. If it's just frequent communication. Maybe she just likes you. Maybe you're the life of the party, and then she just enjoys your company. It doesn't mean she's attracted to you. Doesn't mean that at all. But if she's acting different around you, or acting different with you, and then this, then you just might have something on your hands. All right. And now many people get this wrong. The fact that she wants frequent communication does not mean she always initiates. Sometimes some people are quick to conclude, oh, well, I don't really think she's into this because I'm usually the one who chats out, then she responds. Oh my God. It might still be, a spin-off of the first point I gave. If she's very cautious around you, or she has had her fingers burnt in the past, she's going to want you to be the one to initiate. But the difference is when you reach out, she responds well. She doesn't just give, and then sometimes subconsciously the responses are longer. Like, someone can respond hey, and someone can respond hey. So hey is different from hey. I hope you understand. And once the conversation gets going, now she's responding better and all of that. She's ready to continue the conversation. Now that's something. That's something. So bear that in mind. Number 3, and this one is very important. If a lady is asking questions, that's a huge sign. Because ladies are more calculative. Guys are more likely to just be simply swept off their feet and not really calculative. But a lady wants to know if this can work, so she's going to ask, so how are your parents? Tell me about your family. What about your younger brother? What's his name? So what do you do? Where do you work? Where do you live? And all of that. So if she's asking questions, she's serious. If she's asking questions, so if she's asking especially questions that are relevant to, or that put you in position to be the one. If a lady should ask you, even if it's in between a casual conversation, she might say, oh, I read this touching story about 2 people who were involved, and then because of genotype they couldn't get married. Hey, that reminds me, what's your genotype? It's a lie. If a lady should ask your genotype, that's deeper than I just want to know. That's deeper. So when a lady begins to ask serious questions, there's a reason. All right. So just bear that in mind. And usually they might not be straight up, with it. They would just bring it from. All right. Okay. So that's number 3. I'm going to keep it brief so that the ladies don't get too sad. That I'm saying all of this. All right. Number 4. How do I put this now? If a lady is interested in you, she will put herself in a position that will make it easy for you to get to know her.